Trick or treat, it's me, Questron, your doctor for this flight. We'll be arriving to Airport Slander International momentarily as we undergo the 6-month checkup for Sombra Overwatch 2.
So, there's a lot of things that has come out in the last 6 months. I'm talking perks, I'm talking Freya, I'm talking Wu Yang, I'm talking Stadium, I'm talking Stadium maps, I'm talking Stadium heroes, I'm talking Stadium maps again, I'm talking Stadium game mode exclusive, and hero bands. And largely, hero bands are great. So if I could call my time traveler great-great-great-great-grandson Charles to undo hero bands in Overwatch being added, I wouldn't. There is, however, a teensy-weensy somber-shaped hole in my caffeine circulator. Because it turns out that to everyone's surprise, we only just now figured out that Sombra isn't very liked.
Wow.
But this situation raised a valid question. How much does it actually take for Blizzard to lock in? Even before hero bans were something actually happening, the slew of people hover-handing the metaphorical ban button rivaled that of Roman armies ready for conquest. Like, we are not actually surprised that the ban rates were a solid 90% across the board. Thing is, though, that regardless of if it's something that was to the surprise of nobody or not, it still sucks. And not just saying that for Sombra players, like, sure, yeah, you don't get to play your hero, but on the flip side, how long should an entire community of millions consistently ban any hero into complete submission before Blizzard gets the memo that people just do not like that hero? But of course, Sombra players are subhuman, yada yada, you're all edgy, you're all better than your neighbor. The thing I'm pointing out as an issue has nothing to do with the specific actual hero it's talking about, right? Imagine you're a Genji player, and you literally cannot play Genji in a very literal way for full weeks at a time, no matter how many competitive matches you queue into. Eventually, you stop playing altogether, right? How long could you last? Literally never be able to play the hero that motivates you to even boot up the game to begin with. A day? A week? A season? How about half a year and counting? Because by the time this current season ends, it'll be 8 months without so much as a mention about her. So, grabbing from an implication in a blog post from many moons ago, we kind of assumed a rework was in the works, and that to this day is still at the very least officially unknown. But unofficially, Aaron sort of kind of confirmed something when my editors went to Gamescom in Germany where Overwatch showed off Wu Yang in person. They had to in person ask the CEO of Overwatch himself, Jonathan Overwatch, to still not know anything, really. That seems a bit odd. Something to keep in mind, however, though, is that before every major change or rework, Blizzard kind of has a tendency to completely be hands-off, no matter how dire their circumstances, and let the rework, I guess, kind of compensate for the losses that were accumulated. Rodog, before he got his PP, was the worst he'd ever been, like, by far. Same for Sombra. Well, I mean, it was kind of worse for Sombra, because, like, there was that bug in the game where if you were on a Life Weaver pedal, you could be completely vaccinated against EMP, and, like, EMP literally would do nothing against them. So because the rework was in the works, they kind of let that bug exist for a very short 4 months. That's cool. But, I mean, at the very least, people still got to play her at all. I still got to do my job, because, like, there's people that would watch those videos then because they still got to play that hero. Personally, I'd say this is a little bit of a different circumstance. It's a little bit more extreme. We are in the red. Red is the passion of flames that burn red hot against the Sombra Nation Empire. This has been in existence for many moons. Well before the times of even Overwatch 2, but definitely throughout all of Overwatch 2. What I'm saying is, everyone told Blizzard so. The ones that hated Sombra brigaded Sombra spaces to gloat that their days were numbered. I know my circle of influence was. I'm heavily emphasizing this because it's very important to know that we really can't say this whole situation came out of nowhere or that it was surprising. So when you think about it, is it really fair to say that it's only been 6 months of inaction from the top? Shouldn't there have been any major Sombra changes in the works at the very least at the same time as the conversation surrounding hero bans internally even started? A hero has been virtually unplayable for half an entire year because of the overwhelming amount of hate towards that hero, and Blizzard has been what can only be described as letting it happen. We've gotten one slight nerf, I guess, really early on, but no other balance change or even a promise has been made since then. The only point to contrary is a Discord screenshot of someone needing to directly ask the CEO of Overwatch in person. Again, this is about a unanimously hated hero to the point of having a community-wide dedicated ban slot exist. This is record-breaking even outside of Overwatch. The most notable comparison is a champion in League of Legends of all games called Kassadin. Don't worry, I'm not going to subject you to League of Legends lore right now, just that that's the only comparable thing I could find on the old Google.com. The developers tried a couple nerfs, noted he was oppressive in direct comments, and said they're planning bigger changes, and then 5 months later, he was reworked. This was 2013, a time where people were way less emotionally attached to video game characters, less skin cells, less TikTok fan edits. Regardless of if I'm on the side of Sombra or against Sombra, that's just kind of crazy to go unmentioned in any official capacity for that long. Especially because if they do rework her, who are they doing it for? It's been so long the only people playing Sombra do it as her counter pick. And those people are entirely okay with shoving her under a carpet in the least controversial way possible. Some say support, some just say to completely change all of this. But let's be honest, that's just deleting her but keeping her in-game files and assets in use. And is that a solution? Right then you might say, who cares? So now let's make it about me, the most important person in the video. What would you do if your entire audience literally could not play the character you're known for? Like, you're a math tutor, but math is illegal. Sure, I get to play Sombra, but the question is, for who would that be something interesting and something they'd even want to see? Say I'd make a Sombra guide. For who? It's not like you can watch it and go try it out. I'm not a one-trick on Sombra, but I sure as hell am not impressive enough at gaming to be the #1 in a span of a month on a different hero. And even if I did miraculously become the best at something else, what, do I just have the fact that I'm top tier on Sombra after thousands of hours as like a back pocket party trick? Like, objectively, videos I make not about Sombra perform worse. I tried doing new things over and over again, but I mean, it's no secret that you can look at when the last video was posted. I've been forced to pretty much give up. I still get to play Sombra, and I do stream it pretty much every day, but anything outside specifically my Twitch stream has no real point. Given that this has been a thing for half a year now, I'm just gonna speedrun the comment section real quick, Blitz style.
Yeah, but it's Sombra, so it's good actually.
So reworker. Blizzard being okay with any hero being this hated and blocked from play altogether is not a precedent they should ever have regardless of the hero it's about, right? I don't think I saw a hot topic to say. I don't know, that doesn't seem like a very harsh thing to say.
Okay, like Highland, smartass.
Alright, imagine, if you will, you could turn back the clock to before the virus rework. Instead then, rework with the translocator being placeable at the very center of what you change. And then that way, de-emphasize stealth in her kit. Nothing is inherently toxic in Overwatch is my headcanon. Hot take, maybe, I don't know. A comparable situation is Mercy. Like, a short comparison you could make is that in Overwatch 1, Mercy had a team-wide res. Right? Everyone hated it. This is not new ground, right? But then they changed it, and now it's single use, single person, one person at a time. The concept of res still exists, but it's been de-emphasized to the point of it being a bonus rather than the pivotal point in her kit.
People are still gonna be in Sombra anyway.
Putting aside the fact that we no longer hate Mercy for the same reasons we did early Overwatch 1, or that Brigitte's voice actress isn't getting daily death threats in her DMs, it's safe to say that this is not a smart person thing to say, but even if it was true, through some miracle pill like this one in my hands, that results in human psychology only specifically for Overwatch players to bypass the whole time heals all wounds thing, at the very least, Blizzard is doing something. Because there are people that like Sombra, and they buy skins, and they spend the same amount of hours in this game as Mercy players, Doomfist players, or even Genji players. And being ditched by the one person that's supposed to be fair to everyone sucks. It sucks regardless. If it's not Sombra, it could be Genji next. It could be Doomfist players next. It's the fact that it can happen is kind of the problem here.
Don't care, I'm still banning Sombra anyway, you suck. One trick.
Oh, who's that edgy little boy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Now, obviously, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't include the response that normally Sombra players give to everyone else, which is usually some variant of
skill issue long.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with not being top 500. It really just does make sense that she gets banned by the bottom 95% of the entire player base. Trying to shame people into putting up with it is just not how humans work. And speaking from experience, I've been a human for a long time. Now, I don't work for a Blizzard. Matter of fact, I don't think I'd even want to if it means people like me say the things I say in videos like these. But this has officially become something that needs to be addressed, right? I don't think that's a crazy thing to say here. So, Blizzard, I ask, can we not be okay with an entire Heroes community being exiled without so much as an official comment to acknowledge that this is just kind of not something you want? Maybe, let the Sombra community have something to look forward to, or something by being anything other than radio silent. And for the non-Blizzard people that are absolutely and totally watching my video and sharing it internally, I stream on Twitch. That's where you can find me, but until literally anything Sombra related happens, I'm probably not going to be making many more videos for a little while. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Toodaloo. Okie dokie. Bye. Bye now. Bye-bye. Leave a comment and share the video on Reddit. Bye now. Bye.